Oh, yeah. By the way, I hear your week was a little challenging, Liz.
Well, yeah, I think I spoke too soon, Missy, when I said I didn't have poison ivy.
You didn't when you spoke about it.
No, I didn't. But then something came and just got me. And it wasn't my fault.
It's never your fault.
I'm so careful now when I'm in and amongst the weeds.
Yep.
But last weekend, the weekend before, or sometime, it was Paul who went out and he went into the wood, totally covered, to cut back some of the brush in the wood.
Right.
And he must have got into it anyway, in a big way. And he knew he had.
But he had his pants on and everything, so he was covered.
Yeah, he was all covered. Well, I didn't really think much about it, but he took a lunch break. I mean, we should never let our husbands take a lunch break.
We don't get lunch breaks.
But he took a lunch break and he was just sat under the arbor on our outdoor patio furniture, like the couch. And didn't think anything of it. And neither did I. I went off shopping, came back that evening. I'm wearing my skort.
Right.
And I sit down on the couch.
Oh, no. Say it isn't so.
And for the first time ever, I had the worst outbreak of poison ivy on the back of my legs.
Yeah, I saw the picture.
Yeah, not attractive. So normally I get it on my arms because that's where, when you're in that.
When you're planting and stuff.
So I know it was from the couch. So I had to wash all the couch cushions.
More work for us. It wasn't planned and we didn't account for.
Super hard to get patio furniture couch cushions off if ever you've done it. So anyway, so I did all of that.
And then trying to not get any more on you from the fabric when you're taking everything apart.
Yeah, exactly. Because people who don't know about poison ivy don't realize that it's the oil and it stays around for a very long time. I'm really careful. I wash all my gardening gloves.
Mm-hmm.
I wash all my stuff. I'm careful with my tools if I've been in and around that stuff. But this was and it was a beast. And what happened was, Missy, I thought I had a little mosquito bite on the back of my leg.
So you started to scratch it?
So I scratched it.
Oh, no.
And so and then obviously it was in the crease of my leg. So it went on the upper
Both
part
sides.
of my thigh and the lower upper part of my calf. So between that, it's then...
So when did you realize it wasn't a mosquito bite?
So that was probably actually... So it was 2 weeks ago that actually this happened. And I didn't really realize it wasn't a mosquito bite until probably, 10 days ago. And then last weekend, it was awful, just awful. I had to drive and I was like, oh, this is terrible. I had it covered. But then when you cover it,
You're
it
right.
sweats. And then it spreads under the cover.
The bandage, yeah.
Oh, it's the worst thing ever, poison ivy. But anyway, now I'm on a steroid and it's on its way out.
So now are you going to swell up?
So now I look like what they say the side effects of steroid taking. Did you ever know? It gives you what's called potato face or
Is that
puffy
an actual
face.
term?
It's
Like a medical term?
Something. It was like I looked up and it goes, what are side effects? It said puffy potato face or goldfish face or something.
I
Anyway,
don't think you look like a potato head.
thank you.
You're still beautiful.
The other side effect is it takes away your collagen, which is just great, isn't it, for someone
It's
who's
working
60?
against us. You're like, I just had a collagen treatment.
And the other thing is it's great for osteoporosis, bone loss, and muscle wasting. So, yeah,
And then
great.
frequent urination.
Yes. So if I have to leave the podcast in a minute, you'll know I just have taken a potty
We
break.
should have started it in the bathroom.
But anyway, enough of mine. How was your week?
It was tough. I work, at the local hospital here, and I work for environmental services. So, I manage the housekeeping team there, and working at a hospital, it's very eye-opening. We had a trauma yesterday, and we got a call that there was some broken glass in the emergency department. So we needed to go clean it up, no big deal. But then when we got there, we weren't able to clean it up because the room was still used and the curtain was pulled, and you just knew it wasn't going to be a good outcome. And so it just
What caused the broken glass?
I never did find out exactly what it was. It did get swept up. And then once the room was cleared, my housekeepers went in and cleaned up the trauma unit. But it kind of puts a damper on your day amongst dealing with all the other things that go on with trying to keep a hospital clean and sanitized.
Yeah, it's super hard. Super hard. So what do you do when life takes over, and it's like, it's like that when you're in trouble and you don't know right from wrong, give a little whistle. What do you do to brighten your day?
Well, I do sing. I like to sing. That makes me happy. Music always, helps brighten my mood. And there's so many different genres of music depending on what you're feeling, what type of
Certainly lifts your spirits.
yeah. But like last night I came home and I took my bra off and I put on a tank
That
top
brings you
and
joy.
some shorts. That bring me a lot of joy.
Yes.
And I made some carnitas and I poured myself a drink, and I sat and just enjoyed that until,
It's easier at this time of year too, isn't
It
it?
is so much easier. The wintertime is just depressing and the whole thing is just sad. And all I want to do is eat baked goods in the wintertime. Whereas like right now I'm like, okay, I need a drink and I'm going to go outside.
Yes,
and sit in the patio.
Until the mosquitoes or gnats come
Yeah.
get you.
You have a nice deck. I have a patio. So yeah, and I'm still working on getting mine set up. But, you just have to kind of look at those tough days and think like, how am I going to pull myself out of this? Because otherwise it just kind of oozes into the next day and it just carries, it's stressful.
And it's easy to get in a funk, isn't it?
Absolutely.
I know when I've lost pets, that's been my worst things, is that, when you lose a pet or when you have to say goodbye to your furry friend, it's that whole, you go into a real funk after that.
Absolutely. You're used to them being around and just
it's so hard.
being in the way and just all their, silliness and, even just feeding them every day. You're like, oh, they're not here anymore. So yeah, it can be tricky. We've both kind of been through, some sad days here and there. And obviously the day-to-day stuff with the work grind can, you're dealing with associates, you're dealing with coworkers,
frustrations, just generally, right?
Yeah, and it can really like, I don't know about you, but I came home, I think it was last week. I can't remember if I talked about this, but I had just had a day and Josh came home from work and just wanted to like, just tell me about his day. He was a, innocent bystander in this. And I was just sitting there. I don't even know what I was doing. I maybe like had the TV on low volume and I was kind of just scrolling through social media, and he kept talking and I just kind of took him by the arm and I said, I need you to stop talking.
It's overload.
I said, I'm at full capacity right now. And, he got a little upset. And I'm like, you can't be mad because had a bad day. I'm letting you know, this is what I need right now. I just need some quiet, because we have dogs. And so the dogs are barking at squirrels and like, he's playing a video on a phone next to me with noise and he's talking to me and the TV's on. I'm like, I'm on overload. So,
yeah.
You kind of have to just let your mate know what you need. Like, I need you to be quiet and let's talk to me when I'm, back on full tank again.
Yeah. I have some coworkers who are struggling at the moment. Life just gets in the way. One coworker, her car has, taken a dive and it shouldn't have done. And she's now in for, thousands of dollars worth of repairs. Mm-hmm. And that suddenly comes at you out of the blue at the same time as gas prices.
I was just going to say
doubled. People who are having to drive to work, who are working on a budget and maybe driving 20 miles a day to work.
It's insane.
It adds huge to your monthly.
Yeah. And Josh told me he went and filled up the other day and it was like $80. I'm like, what?
And to European people, that's still extremely cheap, right? We still have it extremely cheap. But over here, where people are driving long distances and the Great American Road Trip is the thing for the summer, that's really something that a lot of people could steal a lot of people's joy right now, right?
100%.
Filling up your car is not joyful.
Yeah. And I've looked at flight prices to go see Sydney and oh my gosh, I just went in February for like under $400 and now it's like double that.
I know. That's the summer too. It's really not going to get any cheaper between now and August.
I just want to see my child.
I know. It is hard. So the things that we can do, I find that when I'm like in a bit of a funk there, obviously there's retail therapy, which is really good,
Yes. What kind of retail therapy? I like to shop for plants, obviously.
Yes, I do.
Shoes, we've talked about that.
Shoes. And I do like to go to Home Goods for that spontaneous kind of,
I need that. I didn't know I needed it, but I need that.
And sometimes it's just such a, some people say, well, going to Home Goods is really overwhelming. I'm quite able to sort of see something in context, even if there's lots of stuff all around it. And
Do
I
you
go,
have a specific spot that you go to? Like, do you look at like the linens, or do you look at the home stuff,
no,
or
I'm
photos,
typically
pictures?
looking in and around the glassware,
Hmm.
food. Sometimes I might find some nice pasta or something like that.
I'm always leery about that. I'm like, how long has this been here?
Oh, I look at the best before date on it.
You do? Okay.
As long as the best before date, I mean, jam and things like that,
Sure.
it's normally okay.
I look at dish towels.
Yes.
I love dish towels. I'm a textiles person. Like, give me a great print or like something that's got a texture to it. I love it.
Yes, and it can be so expensive if you're buying it at,
Yeah.
at a proper store.
I can get 2 dish towels for $7.99 and I'm happy as a clam.
I know. It's easy joy, right? Easy joy.
And I don't need another dish towel, but
Yeah.
it's coming home with me.
Yeah, other things that bring me joy, obviously flowers. So bringing things home for the yard, although I don't have any room now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, somebody asked me the other day, hey, Liz, do you want to come out? My family has a farm and we've got like
You can
flowers.
dig up
And I'm
whatever
like,
you want.
oh, I'm at max capacity.
You're better
really.
than me because I'd be like, yeah, I'll find room. And then Josh gives me that look.
Yes, another thing to plant. Well, it's going to be another thing to water, and I've realised that over time. What I plant in April and May, and is looking beautiful in June. In July, August, September, it becomes a real beast.
Yep.
Here.
And by September, you're like, I'm over it. I'm just going to let it die back.
But some of it is still alive, and then I'm like, I can't kill my babies.
I know. That's me too. My mother can attest to that. She's like, just let it be. I'm like, no, I
No.
can't.
Yes, and I'm hiding them all from the frost. It's a big deal.
I had this plant. It's called Mother of Thousands. Have you seen them?
No.
And it has this leaf on it, but it has all these little babies around the edge of the leaf, and they drop off. And that's how it, regenerates.
That's how it's a mother of thousands.
Correct. And in some climates or some zones, it's considered very, very invasive. People like yank it out by the handfuls. However, I'm like, oh my gosh, she's dropped all these babies. I need to start the new plants. And my mom's like, just throw them away. I'm like, I can't. It's
They're
like
babies.
They're babies. Yeah,
Yes.
my plant babies.
So that brings us joy and time with my girlfriends.
Oh, you cannot. That's unmatched. You just can't ever give that up. Ever.
I have a book club, and
Do you actually like read the book?
I probably am the worst of the group. There's always an excuse, and I'm sure my friend's going, oh, here she comes, another excuse. She's had a busy month. It's a bit like all these things. But, I am busy with a lot of other things that take priority. I find it hard to sit in the evenings. I fall asleep.
If you sit still.
So I'm not sitting and reading. I really need to get more audiobooks. And I've said that. I need to be doing audiobooks because then I could be in my yard
Listening.
pulling weeds and listening to the book,
Yep.
which would get me a lot further. But I haven't done that yet, but I think I should. Of course, I then fight I do like the idea of sitting with a book.
Yeah,
but I don't sit with the book.
Again, I love the textile. I like the paper. I like to turn the pages. I like to crimp the edge to mark where I'm at. So then I'm like, I'm not giving myself the full part of relaxation. Like I've never been a fan of a Kindle. Like
I did get a Kindle.
yeah,
Because I thought I'm buying too many books and they're all going on the dumpster.
no, because I feel like
trees.
that shows me that I have read all of those, and then you can trade them with friends. Like, hey,
Yes.
here's the book.
Have
I've
you
read it.
this book?
Yeah, and then you can swap them.
Yeah. So book club brings me a lot of joy. I had book club this week with my girlfriends, and we go to each other's houses and we all take a dish to share.
Yep. So you just rotate houses.
Yeah. Some weeks, it's quite funny because everyone will go and we take a bottle of wine. Some weeks we'll go, oh, I'm bringing this, I'm bringing this, I'm bringing this. We went once and everybody had gone, oh, I was so busy today. Normally we have so much food. I was so busy today, I just brought wine. Everyone just brought wine. That was a bad book club. There were no snacks. But this book club was so much fun this week with my girlfriends. And we
So how
sat
many's
by
in the club?
So I think there's probably about 10 of us or
Okay.
11 of us in the club. And, obviously different. We try and keep it to a certain day of the month so that we all know when it's going to be coming up, and then
So you
we
can plan
rotate
ahead.
houses.
Yeah.
It's very low key, but it's just lovely because to go to someone's house and then all be together. That's my joy.
Yep.
To be in someone's home. I'm much happier there than I am at, say,
Oh yeah.
a restaurant talking about
For
a
sure.
book or something like that. It's not personal.
Yeah, we
enough for
do.
me.
My friends and I, we do Sunday Fun Day like this time of year.
Aw.
So everybody comes over and brings something normally in like Sundays at like 1 o'clock or whatever. Then you have time in the morning to, kind of do what you need to do. And then we sit there on the patio and, talk the talk. And sometimes, we get a little rowdy and,
Not you,
drink,
Missy.
drink,
Rowdy?
drink a little,
Dance a
drinky,
little.
dance a little, got some music. And then, I've had a few friends that have had so much fun. They've ended up, getting sick on the patio.
Oh,
On a Sunday, but I
that's
mean,
terrible for Monday.
it is terrible, but
Makes for a
it
bad Monday.
makes for a great story.
Yes, it does.
Later on.
It does. Yeah, my friends at work always know, and I say I've got book club tonight, and they know when I come in on Friday.
Don't talk to me until
Yeah,
I've got.
I might be a little
coffee.
slow, or I might have a egg McMuffin in my hand, which is very out of character, but very telling.
You need
Or
the
I might be
grease.
talking about going to Five Guys for lunch, which is even more out of character.
So you can have a $30 cheeseburger.
Oh,
So good though.
it is so good. But I mean, after you've eaten a Five Guys, you need a 2-hour nap.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that.
It's not good for your productivity in the afternoon.
Not at all.
No. But yeah, that's what I find is how to bring that joy, how to get yourself over some of those difficult times. It's a mindset, isn't it?
It really is. Like a lot of times when I come home frustrated, I always like to change clothes and put on something comfortable because I have to wear business casual to work.
Mm-hmm.
And whether it be yard clothes or something else, there's some days I just put my pajamas right on, when I get home. But I end up like I'll go into the bathroom and next thing you know, I'm like washing off the sink and changing the hand towel and picking everything up. And now I'm cleaning the toilet. And it kind of leads to like, oh, I'm cleaning out the bathroom closet, linen closet. Things need to be rearranged. And then you're on this full on like.
But that brings you joy, a sense of accomplishment at the end of a frustrating day.
It is
right?
because I think with my job too, the work is never done. So I feel like when I leave every day, I'm like already going through the list of things I have to do tomorrow. So when you go home and you do that, you're like, okay, it's done. It looks pretty. I gotta have a little OCD moments. So I need it like
And you got it
structured.
accomplished. Sometimes I think at work there are so many things we can't get finished because it's either in the pipeline for this, or it requires
Right.
someone else's decision, or this or that. You're not in control. Whereas when you come home, you can tidy out a drawer
It is. You
And it's
can
all in your
control
control.
it. Yep. I think that I was just gonna say that.
and you accomplish it, finish it, and you've controlled it. And I think there's a lot to say for that. I think that's why we also find gardening
Yeah.
so therapeutic too. 'Cause you put
Definitely.
hands in the dirt.
Because you can visualize it. You can see your work, especially in a month or so when everything's
It's
really taken
lovely.
off, and you're like,
It's
oh
so
my gosh.
rewarding.
And then people are like, you did that? You did? And I'm like, yeah. Because literally when I go to these garden centers and I see they want $80 for, a pot of flowers. And I'm like,
Yes.
there's not $80 worth of
Flowers
plants in
in
there.
And I've got a pot.
I've got plenty of pots
Yes.
and I've probably got some seeds laying around or, I can separate something and make it work. But
There's so much joy in doing that. And that's my creativity. That's we were talking earlier about, what do we do creatively? Do I have any hobbies? Do I have any crafts that I do? I think my craft is redecorating. I'll paint the walls of the house, or
Yes.
I'll get a new picture and I'll recreate an area of my home.
because that's your inspiration
or
for the
my
room.
Yes.
Like your little back bedroom. That's like a little oasis back there.
know,
So I'm going
I
to come
know.
stay the night.
I put my peonies in there because they're flowering, and we're going to get a storm tonight. So it's like, cue everybody in the Quad Cities or Iowa. Your peonies are coming out, and now we're going to get high winds, storms, hail,
I know.
baseball hail, whatever.
So we get to see what we get to deal with in the morning after
Hopefully
the
it's
whole
just
thing.
KWQC on high alert,
There's
because that
storm
will
watch.
not bring me joy.
No, not
when
at all.
they're
Especially
all
when you got to clean
flattened.
up your yard.
No.
Yeah, I'm in the middle of like I said, redoing my kitchen, and so like tomorrow I think it's supposed to rain. I'm like, okay, now I can like mud my soffit and get that sanded, and it's kind of like depending on the weather, depends on what I do in my free time. When it's nice, I'm outside, and when it's
Yes.
raining, I'm like, okay, I need to work inside. But I also like to redecorate. Like I'm a sucker for a good like new quilt set for my bed, and then I want to move
just-
things from one room to another and like make it kind of all new again. And
Fresh and
yeah, for sure.
makes you feel fresh and alive.
So do you feel like Paul knows when you're like in a good mood and like you're in your zone compared to like when you're just he needs to leave you alone and give you space? Is he a good reader of that? Or-
No.
Okay.
No, he's not. What about Josh?
Um, I think he's getting better because I've
You're
tried it.
training him.
I feel like I need to be intentional and let him know when it gets on my nerves, because sometimes they think you're joking and that they just need to keep poking. I'm like, oh, don't poke the bear anymore. Like, I've had it. But the other day was Mother's Day, and we went to the local garden center, and we were planning on, he was going to buy me some plants, of course, for Mother's Day, and kind of get to the counter, and I had a couple of pictures of some things I wanted to plant that were perennials that'll come back in our yard. And we got up, and he's like, "Oh, this is probably going to be a couple $100," and I'm just like,
Yeah, it is.
oh,
And the
I didn't
rest.
say anything. And then it was like $260, and
About the
he,
same price as a tank of gas.
right, and
More joy.
he kind of just gave me the look like, oh, he knows I'm worth it. And
Yes.
I said, I'm not one of those that's asking for an expensive handbag. I just need
No.
$200 worth of plants. I mean, that's pretty simple.
And it'll bring joy to all of you.
Well, yeah, it's for our house, and we
Yes.
entertain. So when people come over, and he's like, "Oh, yep, she did all that," and not that I need
Beautiful.
the credit, but it's like that you created that, from you thought it through from beginning to end. But yeah, he mentioned the other day, just like, "Oh, you were definitely in your element. It was so great watching you. Like, look at all these plants, and you just look so happy." And I'm like, "Oh, finally somebody knows me being happy instead of a crab ass."
Yes. But it's something that I've always felt is that there are some people and who bring something to the party, whether you're talking it at work, whether you're talking in life, whether you're talking anywhere. It's the people who do the extra, not the expected or not the norm, but the people who do the extra, bringing something extra to the party. And I've always said this to my boys, in life, you want to be one of those extra party bringers,
Yeah.
bringing the joy,
Yep.
bringing the fun, bringing the spirit. And that's what makes people want to invite you to a party.
I think people are afraid to be their genuine self for fear that maybe they won't be accepted, or they might be like the weird one, or like, they might be labeled something. And I think maybe it's just my age too, but I'm like, I don't care.
I don't think I really ever cared too much. Maybe I had, thinking back, you probably had some
Yeah.
things that you didn't want to
I
be.
was very awkward in junior high, and it was a really tough time. And I think getting older now, I'm like, I don't want to regret not doing something or not trying something. So I'm kind of in the rule of like, oh, I'll try anything once. And then, maybe I'll try it a second time just to make sure. I don't know. But, I think even just with raising Sydney, I always told her I wanted her to, grow her wings. And I'm like, go travel, go
good.
do all the things, have friends, go like do things for you. Because I think growing up, and it wasn't my mom's fault, but like we had to do things to take care of people,
Yes.
others. And you put yourself last.
Right.
And I'm at a point in my life where I'm not doing that.
No.
Sydney's in a good place. She's married. She has a wonderful husband. His family's amazing. And yeah, I like I said before, I've lost a couple people close to me. So it gives you perspective on, I need to be happy.
For sure.
And the rest of this life is going to be more focused on what I want.
Yes. And every day matters. And yes, the things that bring me joy as well is when I can book the occasional day trip. Get me out of my box, get me out of even my beautiful yard, which I
Yes.
love, but sometimes it's a chore.
I kind of joke sometimes. I'll be like, oh my gosh, Des Moines
trip.
looking really good right now. Just like
Farmers
for a
market
vacation.
down there is supposed to
Yeah.
be.
It's amazing. I have a girlfriend that lives in Des Moines, and she's like, you have to come for this.
Farmers market.
It's a really cool thing. So
Yes.
it's a destination. I need
Well,
to
we're
get there.
one of our trips, Missy.
I know.
And Galena from here is really lovely for a day trip,
I
isn't
love
it?
those little
Beautiful.
shops and like a
Yes.
good lunch outside on a patio with a
At
glass
Vini
of wine.
Venucci's.
Oh my gosh. Like, it's just those things to kind of live with intent, take it all in, and just
Sit
be like,
and relax, breathe the
these
air.
little simple moments are what kind of makes it bearable.
Yes, it is. It is. And those are the things that allow us to shake off all those kind of troubles and things. Like the other day at my book club, or when I went to Michigan in October, and it was just a beautiful October day, and we were on the beach, and I was not. We hadn't taken a towel, and we hadn't taken. And there's people sitting on the beach on their sun chairs, and it wasn't crowded or anything. But the beaches in Michigan are just spectacular. And I was like, The water looked so nice.
I've heard that. I've not been up there, but I've heard that.
Oh, you need to come with me. So the water looked so nice, and I just didn't have a towel, and I didn't have a swimsuit, and I was with two friends, and I was just looking at the water going, I want to go in. I want to go in. And they're going, are you going to go in, Liz?
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, I think I am. I think I am. And there's this guy sitting in the deck chair with his girlfriend or wife or whatever. And he's kind of looking my way. He knew what I was contemplating. And he's
like,
kind of looking at me.
Gonna get naked in front of me?
Looking at me. And I'm thinking, I'm telling myself, come on, Liz, if you don't do this, you're going to be upset and mad at yourself. And in any case, your bra and knickers look just like a bikini. I'm just feeding myself those thoughts.
What color were they?
I think it was black.
Yeah.
So I think I was fine.
Good.
You know. So anyway, in the end, I just stripped it all off.
Yeah.
Walked into the water with complete intent. My two friends were like, "Oh my God, there she goes!"
Did they get a picture of you in there?
They got some pictures of me in the water. Yes. Same in January in Florida. Gina, my friend, thought I was nuts going in because it was like 60 degrees. The water, but it was.
Yeah,
it's just like a cold plunge. You come out,
keep
you feel
me from the water.
So alive.
Yeah, exactly. I did that once on a trip. First time I had ever seen the ocean. I was in Mexico with a ex, and I remember getting out there and I saw the water, and I was just like, it brought me to tears. It was so beautiful, and I knew I've always been a water fan, anyways.
Water baby.
Yes, and same thing. It was like, I think we got there and our room wasn't ready, so we had to keep our luggage like up front with the concierge, and we went to go look at the beach. And next thing you know, here I am like stripping down, and I'm like,
Why
topless
wait?
in the water. And he's like, I'm like, I'm never gonna see these people again. Like,
Until you look around, see your neighbor.
like, who cares? But it's like you got to live in that moment.
You have.
Didn't you have a moment at book club that you were telling me about?
Yes, I did. I did just last week. I there we were, and this particular friend's house has a beautiful pool and is backed onto by very nice neighbors. So I thought I was trying to be very, well behaved. We were sitting by her lovely fire pit.
Remember that saying, well-behaved women never make history.
Yeah.
Remember.
I will. I'll remember that. But it was it was dark. The fire pit was on. People weren't out and about. It wasn't like the neighbors were all out in their yards and I was going to be.
It's still pretty early in the year.
Again, I was I hadn't taken my swimsuit, but I was just wearing my knickers and bra, and I thought, I'm going to go in the pool. I felt the pool with my toe. It was cool, but it wasn't
refreshing,
icy.
maybe.
Yeah. So I went in, and when you were in, it was very tolerable. And then when you came out, it was chilly.
Yeah.
So I knew that water temperature was above the air temperature. And it was beautiful. She got me a towel. She was just concerned that I didn't get my poison ivy on everything. She goes, how contagious is that poison ivy, Liz? I'm like, listen, I've got pants on. It's not going in your water. You're not going to get it through the water.
Right.
I think we're fine. I said, but I'll put my towel straight in your laundry.
Right. Well, you know what? You got to live in the moment. You got to do those things.
Yes.
Living with intent, especially at our age, you never know, what could happen. And like I said, yesterday when we had that trauma at the hospital, the woman that was in the trauma was 54. And you think, like, if I'm only 50, I'll be 51 this year. If I only knew I had 3 years left, like, what do you want to do with that time? You just never know. Like, you got to, spend the money. You need to take the trip. You need to eat the cake and quit worrying about all the other little things,
I'm all in for that.
Yeah.
The thing is, sometimes our work takes over our lives, doesn't it?
It does. It really does.
You're 32 or 40 hours a week.
Or 50.
Or 50.
Yeah, it doesn't leave a whole lot of time for, things that you like to do.
And to plan,
Correct. Yeah. I have to remember every day to take a moment and just, reflect that I need to look at those things like planning the vacation or spending time with friends that I enjoy.
Yeah, let's get that trip to Galena on the cards, Missy.
We should plan that.
All right.
All right. Until next time, everybody have a wonderful day. It's beautiful outside. And
enjoy it.
Go enjoy it and think about all the things that make you happy at the end of the day. We'll talk to you next time. Bye.
Bye.